Good morning. I wanted to follow up with a little video response to Malin's beautiful share from yesterday or 2 days ago. I just took Miller out for a walk and I can feel like a heaviness through my sinuses and my nose is a little runny, and that is a way that kapha imbalance is expressing itself. So right after this video, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to go sweat. That's really good for balancing kapha right now. So even if you don't have dominant dosha kapha, because kapha season has arrived, it can still create an imbalance, even in all of us, really. Okay, so here's what she said. Experimenting with some of the practices, getting outside more, great. And getting into bed by 10 p.m., wonderful. That will be really helpful to the rest of your day. Rampage of appreciation in February, and that was delightful. Great. So then she goes into saying, I once saw an Ayurvedic practitioner who told me I was Vata. Okay. And then she said, I think he was right. Okay, so I just want to clarify the language. We all have all the doshas, all the elements in our body. We are made of the 5 elements. Everything in nature is. What our unique constitution is the unique combination of Vata, Pitta, Kapha that you express. And there's 2 things to know. One is your Vikriti, which is your current state, and one is your Prakriti, which is how you are made, which never changes, how you're formed. However, your Vikriti, your current state, is more important. So it doesn't matter if you're Prakriti, if you were made, you don't have to try to be your Prakriti. You don't have to try to live in your true nature. It happens when you balance your current state. So this statement of this Ayurveda practitioner telling you you're a Vata is partly true. You have Vata, you have air and ether in you. So do I. So does everybody. But that's the dominant dosha fault. It's the way that you fall out of balance most often. That's typically what it is that's something to be mindful of, and that you in a balanced state have all the qualities of a healthy Vata, which would be creative and flexible and moving and light and airy. So yes, a daily practice for a constitution, a Prakriti that is Vata dominant, would be embodiment. Meditation, rhythm, warm foods. These are things that help you stay in your healthiest version. Just like for me, I have a lot of kapha. I have a lot of pitta kapha. I'm probably even actually in pitta kapha. I think that the true nature really is there. And so my daily exercise and sweat is what helps me stay a healthy kapha. So I come home and I can get to work, right? And sort of have that rhythm and that balance, keep the pitta in line. It's like the way that it all works out to keep me in that healthy version of myself. If I were to not exercise, my mind and my body gets so congested with the earth and the water element, which is what kapha is, or the pitta, which is the fire, and I'm not in my true nature. I'm not in a healthy version of my true nature. Does that make sense? But in the fall, when Vata is here and blowing and everywhere, fall and early winter, I can fall into that very easily, that trap of overthinking and anxiety. So it's not that that our lives are not impacted by these. It is at a deep level, but knowing yourself, that knowledge and that awareness, and being very clear with how you talk about the doshas is really important, because it helps you understand the concept. So hopefully this helps you guys understand it a little bit more. Okay, so I definitely need that embodiment in my life. It makes me come alive. So that statement, it makes me come alive, that's what life is all about. That's the energy, that's the vibrancy, that's the connection to source. Apart from exercise and breath work, how else can I access embodiment? Is it any kind of movement presence? What if you can't get out one day? Okay, so this is a Vata question, because you're listing off a bunch of things that you may or may not normally do, but you're always looking for more. So it's kind of like never settling. It's like, oh, and then what? And then what? And then what? That's the Vata movement, instead of just really integrating and embodying the things that you know work. So being in your body every day, meditating every day, having warm water, warm tea, warm soups, those things are really important. So that was even a funny sort of Vata question, Vata-like question. So focus on that. Is there any kind of movement? What if I can't get out? So if you can't get outside and can't be in nature, I mean, again, that to me, if you can't get out for 5 minutes, like, let's talk about that. You definitely need fresh air every day, period. You are a mammal. You are not a robot. You need fresh air. You need the trees. You need the air. You need to be outside. You need to feel that space, exclamation point. However, you may have a day when you can't exercise outside. I will put a link to the yoga videos that I created. You may not have them. They're for sale on my website, but I'll give them to you guys for free. That can help you have some practices at home that will keep you moving, or get some weights. Just do a home workout. There's plenty online. There's plenty for free, but make the time and make it an effort. Does the book for this month talk about different doshas? Yeah, it does. Doshas are the basics of Ayurveda, and they're the most like sort of tangible, easy things for people to talk about. So Happy, Healthy, Sexy has all the doshas, has healthy and unhealthy, and then all the foods for all the seasons. That's why you guys will have it forever, because you'll keep remembering and you'll go back through and you'll forget one season and then come back the next season. So yes, your note on eating, just enough to fill the tummy, stoka stored. So in Ayurveda, we always say 1/3 is for food, 1/3 is for digestion, 1/3 is for God, something like that, something sacred like that. So just and again, I don't like all those numbers. I just say, listen to your body, don't overeat, pay attention. And why not overeat? Because it doesn't feel good, because it really brings you down. And then it dawned on me the other day that I'm an emotionally eater. Yes. So the physically loving. So that's what we said in Thrive. I don't know if you remember this, Malin, but there's a whole section in Thrive on like, what are you hungry for? And that if we can start to get to the root of that sort of love and connection, and start really loving ourselves from the inside out, the emotional eating for love can really, really slow down and just not be a thing anymore. It takes time. Do some journaling about it, do some thinking about it, and give yourself some space to kind of digest that. I remember a time when I was feeling embodied, waking up with the sun and eating just enough to fill my tummy. It was the best I ever felt. There you go. You already know that feeling is something I'd love to capture again. Great. Wake up with the sun and eat enough to fill your tummy and see how you feel. Any tools you'd recommend to catch yourself before I fall into this eating food trap again? I think you already know what it is. You've already said it in here. If I wake up with the sun, and if I keep my body moving, and if I don't overeat, I feel great. So tap into your nature. There's going to be no other tricks or tips. It's not like there's a secret magic cure. You know the answers, and you can see them right here. You're already feeling intuitively into them. So it says, with this awareness in mind, any tools you'd recommend to catch oneself before I fall into the food eating trap? Would it be Dispenza? We've been learning about. Yeah. It's law of attraction. It's Dispenza. It's saying like, I want to feel healthy. I want to feel vibrant. I want to feel energized. And the more that you do that, you'll feel the contrast. If you sleep in and don't get enough sleep, and you don't exercise and you overeat, do you feel vibrant and energetic? It's not that hard. I'm not trying to not honor how you're feeling, anyone who's watching this. I just want to also be very clear. Let's not make it harder than it is. Let's not make a huge story about it. Let's literally pay attention to how we feel and what the things are that help us feel better. You already have the foundation. Law of attraction is just language that helps you bring more of what you want into your life. And Dispenza is just saying, I have the tools to clear out the patterning. I know how to meditate to create space for my body, for my healing, and I understand how it's all connected. So yes. It's all the stuff we've learned, and it's very simple, even if it's not easy. Could anyone pinpoint an area to look at? I don't think there's going to be an area to look at, because it's going to be your journey and your experience, and you have to do the work for your life, all of us, to see what resonates and give yourself time. And then next, you said, to be honest, I hadn't delved deeply into his work. I've done some of the meditations and read a little and tried to visualize an emotional what I want for myself, but it has been limited. Yeah, give yourself some more time, give yourself some more practice. Maybe listen to him talk a little bit, listen to the podcast, listen to the talks. He's all over YouTube. There's plenty of information where you can hear him talk. Just take it lightly. Just give yourself the 7 months of LOLA and beyond, the rest of your life, to just be interested in it and be curious. In the meantime, do those basic things for your body that you know feel good. The breath work, I love the breath work with Erin Telford. Yes, she's wonderful. Okay, so then you said the way one feels on a day-to-day basis and feel one's best, it doesn't necessarily mean you're bright and shiny all the time. Okay, so let's be clear. No human is bright and shiny all the time. That is false advertising for this unicorn, rainbow, spiritual bypass ridiculousness that is all over. Live your best life, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff that like elevates to a high level and does not take into account that you are a human being and we have a whole range of emotions. That's why I like the emotion scale in Law of Attraction in Ask and It Is Given, because you can see the range. And if you read it, it does not say you're trying to get to the highest state 24/7. It's saying when you find yourself in a state, see if you can like sort of shift up one gear, one notch. That's going to be one little feeling that you're rising. It's not bright and shiny. The aim is not bright and shiny. So then you said, this resonated a lot. At this point in time, I'm not this air-filled helium balloon high on life. I feel grounded, but not ecstatic. And at one point I thought that's what I was trying to achieve. I'm not sure where you got that. I really hope it's not from me, because I'm not trying to create an environment where people are ecstatic and high all the time. I'm not. And I'm not asking you to be. I'm asking you to dig deep, to get at the root of what's going on in your life, to know you have skills, the tools from the toolbox that I've done videos on and wrote about that can help you tap into higher levels. But to be very clear that to be human, hold on a second, I hear the dog being super naughty. To be human is to have a full range of emotion. And until you leave this earth, you will have a full range of emotion. Sorry for the darkness. What do you have? Oh, you're eating Milo's shoe. Give me a minute, guys. Sorry. Miller, don't do that, you naughty, naughty boy. Okay, so I just really wanted to make this video to make sure that we all are on the same page, that there's not a goal of like helium-filled, high on life. That can happen when you live in alignment. I have a lot of high vibe days where synchronicities are popping. And also, just like you said earlier, that is going to come over time, more of those vibrations when you honor your body, when you don't overeat, when you move every day, when you get enough rest. Like when you take care of your physical body, because of spirit, because of sacredness, because of love of self, the higher vibrations, because your chakras are more open, energy channels are open, you've dealt with the stuff and they're moving, it comes to you naturally. You don't have to do anything. You become a magnet for healing, for hope, for lightness, for other people, for things to just happen. The divine, it makes space for it. And I'm just saying, it's not because of the external goal. It's not because of the outcome that we're trying to get there and then we bypass the body to do it. So you know what to do in your body, and I can hear that it sounds like you're not quite doing it regularly. And so that's our first commitment. And then, like everything, experiment, see what happens. There's lots of you guys here, Lindy, Michelle, Katie, Christina, these are just popping off the top of my head, Rita, people who have experimented with this, taking care of the physical body, paying attention, and it's kind of like pop, 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 all these things start to happen. But not because it's happening in the head, not because it's someone else's prescription, because they started to tune into the physical body, to the feelings, accept all the feelings, embrace all the feelings, understand this is part of being human, and then from the inside out, start to look for alignment and synchronicity. And that for pretty much everybody who's started to make those shifts, it's taken anywhere from, I would say, 3 to 12 months, really. And that is with a really devoted student, meaning really putting it in pretty much daily. or consistently, I would say, rather than daily. So I'm not saying you are or you aren't there, Meilin. I'm just saying anyone who watches this, like, this is just generally what I've seen, okay? And then you said, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be experiencing, feeling, but right now I know I'm getting better at identifying how I feel, living with it, even though it can at times be uncomfortable, and moving on. There you go. That's it. There's nothing you should be feeling. You're feeling and embracing what you are feeling, which is you're like, wow, I'm actually getting better at identifying how I feel and living with it and being comfortable with discomfort. That is what I teach people. Be comfortable with discomfort. That is life. And then you said, I'm not a roaring happy hippie yet. Perhaps I do feel relatively grounded. I don't know is that a goal for you to be a roaring happy hippie? I have no idea. I don't know what your goals, your desires, your vision, your mission for your life, or any of you guys is. That's not mine. So hopefully I'm not, again, saying that that's what you should be doing. That's certainly not what I do every day. I live in this earth, and anyway, I just say that, like, and then you said, but I do feel relatively grounded. I mean, that's huge. Notice in this that you're saying all the things you're not and then the thing you are. And what I want you to do is reverse it. So I want you to say, I feel grounded, period. Without all these other outcomes and all these other ways that you're shaming yourself and saying, I'm not enough. Notice that in here. You keep saying, I don't know if it should be this, but here's what I am feeling. And look at what you are feeling. I'm noticing my experiences. I'm noticing how I'm feeling. I'm uncomfortable. And then I move on. Like, that's powerful. That's awesome. Let's focus on those things you are doing and take out all the stuff you're not doing. It's not worth it. It's an energetic, it's just a total vampire suck. And then I said, I find that if I do have an anchor, a place where I feel safe and comfortable. I guess it might be so when I depart from it, I always come back to it. Lovely, the anchor then. This will be my mantra. Wonderful. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for your openness. This video is for all of us. I love you guys. Have a wonderful Friday. Follow up with any questions, comments, concerns, or thoughts from this. And I'm off to exercise. See ya.